It's just so frustrating, isn't it? You spend, I don't know, hours, maybe days writing these huge documents.
Specs, proposals, reports.
And the moment you hit save, it's just dead. It's static text.
It's the friction of modern work, really. You have these record systems for writing things down and then completely separate action systems for getting things done.
And they don't talk to each other.
Rarely.
Well, that gap is pretty much exactly what we're digging into today.
We're doing a deep dive into a concept called IXO flow. The goal is to stop thinking of a document as a digital piece of paper and start treating it as like a workflow engine with its own rules.
So embedding the doing right into the reading.
Exactly that.
Okay, so let's break down the mechanics. The source material really focuses on this core unit called the block. But in most editors I use, a block is just a paragraph or a header. How is this any different?
So in IXO, a block isn't just about formatting, it's a functional component. It holds state, it can fetch data, it has its own logic.
Okay, so a better mental model isn't Word or Google Docs. It's more like a spreadsheet.
That's the perfect way to think about it, because if you change a number in cell A1,
Cell B1 updates automatically because of a formula.
that's the core concept. That's reactivity. IXO just applies that kind of logic to a text document. And to make it work, the whole architecture is split into two modes.
Template mode and flow mode.
Yep.
So template mode, that's for the person building the thing, right? The architect.
You got it. Template mode is where you configure the rules. You're not just typing text. You're defining behaviors, setting up data sources, validation, permissions. You're building the machine.
And flow mode is when you run the machine.
Correct. That's the user interface. You're in flow mode when you're interacting with it, inputting data, clicking buttons, triggering all that logic that was set up in the template.
Okay, so that distinction seems to lead to the dependency graph. This feels like the secret sauce.
It absolutely is the aha moment. In a normal doc, paragraph 3 has zero idea what paragraph 1 is doing. They're totally isolated.
But here, the blocks reference each other. They're aware of each other's state. So if I were to check a box in, say, block A,
Block B could suddenly appear, or change its content. Or maybe you fill out a form in Block A, and Block B automatically fires off an API call to get a price list based on what you just typed.
wow, so the document physically adapts its layout based on my input.
It's not just a record of what happened, it's actively guiding what happens next.
But that raises a huge red flag for me. If my document is executing code and moving data around, that sounds like a security nightmare.
A completely valid concern.
What stops someone from just deleting the final approval block and forcing something through?
If you turn a doc into an app, you need app-level security. And IXO's answer to that is baked-in authorization.
Baked in, as in it's at the block level itself.
Yes, exactly. Instead of just, can you read this file, the logic goes deeper. Each block has two internal gates: access and action.
Access is who can see it.
And action is who can change its state, mutate it.
That's actually a really big shift. Security is usually at the application layer. Here, the governance travels with the document.
And a huge side effect is that it creates a native audit trail. The document itself becomes the log of who approved what and when. You don't need a separate system to track it.
All right, let's ground this a bit. Is this all just theory, or is there a tool set here?
No, it's functional. The component library can handle fetching external data from APIs. You have your standard inputs like forms and file uploads and logic blocks for that conditional display stuff we talked about.
And I think I saw something about specific governance blocks, like for voting.
That's right. You can embed a proposal and the vote execution right inside the flow, plus navigation blocks to link different flow documents together into a bigger process.
So if we step back, IXO Flow is really just trying to blur the line between a doc and an app.
It's an engine disguised as an editor. What block types would remove friction for real teams?
Which kind of puts the question back to you, listening to this. If your daily documents could react like this, if they could listen, fetch data, hide what's irrelevant, what's the one specific repetitive task in your workday you would automate away first?
It's worth thinking about.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Catch you next time.